What up, what up, what up? Hey, everybody, hope you're doing well. Hey, I just want to let you know, I know everybody can't always support and donate to the podcast, but hey, if you can do a one-time donation, I put up a Buy Me a Coffee link in this description of the podcast. So if you go to the description of the podcast, it'll be at the bottom, and you can just go to that link and you can buy me a cup of coffee, or two if you want. And that would just help support the show, and I can wake up a little bit more and bring you more info. So thanks for listening to the podcast. If you can donate, that would be much appreciated. And let's get on to the show. Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and lore. And today we are going to talk about a man who claims that he has a frozen Bigfoot head from the 1950s. So I came across this video a while back, and I hadn't done the podcast yet, but since I'm on the topic of Bigfoot in my last podcast, I want to do this one. Now, this guy's name is Peter Caine, Caine, and reportedly this guy lives in Alaska, and you can watch his YouTube video if you want. But he claims that his father shot a Bigfoot back in 1953 and killed it. And they basically chopped it up and kept certain parts of the Bigfoot for, later on down the line when they wouldn't be attacked by the media, attacked by the government, have the government take it away so they could actually, keep this thing around, record it, observe it, see what they could find out about it, send out some DNA testing on this thing, and try to verify what they actually captured. So from what I can tell in the video, they kept the head, which is massive, and they also, it looks like he kept like other parts of the body. It looks like maybe a part of the arm they had in the freezer, and the head in the freezer, and maybe one of the feet in the freezer in another video. But I'm focusing on the head in my podcast, and it's really interesting, man, because this head and the curls of the hair and the structure of the face really look like very similar to what the hard giant looked like. In my previous podcast, I talked about how the U.S. military had fought against this Kandahar giant, this red-haired, 15-foot-tall giant in Kandahar during their military campaign in Kandahar in a cave system. So this thing looks really similar because as I'm going through it, I mean, it has like red curls, it has a human-looking face, and it has teeth, and you can kind of make out, the nose doesn't have much hair on it. Around the forehead doesn't have a whole lot of hair on it, and it has just like a lot of curls and reddish-looking hair to it. So it looks very similar. But anyway, this guy pulls out a measuring tape on the video and gives us the dimensions. So I just want to give you the dimensions of this frozen Bigfoot head. According to him, he states that it's 28 inches long. So we're talking about from the head to the chin. So that's pretty long, because I'm pretty sure my head is only like, I don't know, 12, maybe 14 inches long. So you're talking at least double the size of a human head, and 18 inches wide. But what's really interesting is he states that the head weighs almost 120 pounds. This thing is huge, and obviously it's lost some water weight and things like that, so it could actually been heavier when it was alive. So I mean, you think about being in a freezer for 70 years, it's going to lose a lot of water weight, and it did. And so it obviously could have weighed a lot more. It could have weighed 150 pounds maybe. So that's just in the head by itself. Now, in the last podcast, I had talked about the Army Corps of Engineers confirming Bigfoot possibly weighing up to 1,000 pounds. Now think about that. If this head weighs 120 pounds now, possibly 150 when it was alive, that would correlate and corroborate the Army Corps of Engineers story that their Bigfoot was estimated to be 1,000 pounds. The head of 150 pound head matching up with 1,000 pound body starts making sense, right? So obviously it could weigh a little bit more, it could weigh 1,500 pounds, who, we don't know. But what's really interesting is he also talked about further evidence and further investigation into this head, and stated that it had two esophaguses, which is really interesting. So he's doing some research on that and trying to figure out why, you know, whether or not they had two kind of feeding systems, or whether or not this was a totally different apparatus altogether. But he stated they had two esophaguses, or kind of like digestive apparatus inside the neck portion of the head. Now, he states that his father shot this thing in 1953, and he states that he had a secret that he wasn't going to divulge, but he divulged in the video that they actually had to shoot a second, smaller Bigfoot because it started to run at them and attack them as they shot this larger Bigfoot. So that's really fascinating. So I don't know. He doesn't show that they had captured it, or, you know, chopped it up or put it, in the freezer. He just shows the one Bigfoot in this video. Now, what's interesting is in a second video, he has a skull of a Bigfoot. So the Bigfoot head I'm talking about in the first video was frozen. So it has all the flesh, it has all the hair on it, has, the skin, it has everything intact, frozen. And this guy's in Alaska, and he's doing the video in Alaska outside. It's like snowing as he's doing it, so it's definitely cold enough to maintain this thing being frozen, so he can do the video. But in this second video, he has this skull, and he states that he states some really interesting. He puts forth some very interesting statements in the video. He states that he believes that some people have stated when they look into the eyes of this Bigfoot skull that he has, that they can see the future, they can see the past. It has some sort of mystical characteristics, magical characteristics about it. He also states that that he believes that these Bigfoot creatures are biological recorders for the Greys. So he believes that they are possibly just recording devices for the Greys, which is a really fascinating theory. I don't know if I buy into that, but it's a fascinating theory because we believe, a lot of people of us ufologists believe that the Greys are recording devices for the reptilians and other species, like the Nordics. You have all these other species, reptilian, the Pleiadians, that some of us believe that the Greys are actually recording devices for them. So to say that the Bigfoot are recording devices for the Greys who are recording devices seems kind of silly. But everybody has their own theory, and nobody knows. Nobody knows what the truth is because we don't have definitive truth or evidence or proof yet. So I'm not discounting anybody's, potential. I mean, the fact is that we don't know what Bigfoot is. We don't know what the Greys are. We don't know what, the reptilians truly are. Some people believe that the reptilians are controlled themselves by nanobot AI. So, I mean, there's just so many theories that are really, really fascinating out there. But getting back to this guy, Peter Kane, feel free to look him up on YouTube. It's an interesting video. I mean, nonetheless, the head is just fascinating to check out and look at. He says he's had it in a freezer since 1953, I think it was. Yeah, 53. That his father had shot this thing back in 53, and they've had it frozen. And he's going to open up a Bigfoot Museum of North America. That's what he stated in this video that's 2 years old. So maybe there is a Bigfoot Museum of North America now, and maybe this head is in it. I don't know. All I know is I saw this video a while back through a thread, and it's just fascinating to me because we're getting a lot of these pieces of the puzzle of Bigfoot together now, and there's just so many different theories. People have postulated that Bigfoot could actually be an interdimensional being as well, that they could have devices that could allow them to go back and forth through different dimensions, and that's why you can never really capture one, or you can't really capture it very well on camera because they're able to zap back and forth through dimensions, which I always thought was like a really interesting theory because it just seems like capturing some of these things on film is just near impossible. But people have been able to capture a few of them, but you'd think we'd be able to capture a lot more. So that's kind of the state of affairs with this Peter Kane video. It's about 7 minutes long. He has another video where he's got a head, and it's just a skull as opposed to a flesh and bone video. So, check it out. Tell me what you think. I mean, this guy seems kind of legit. He swears a little bit, which makes it seem like he's been dealing with a lot of, sarcastic critics out there, cynics out there. He stated he's gotten a lot of people calling him, trying to get him to show up with the head or do certain things with the head. And I think he's gotten like kind of irritated. So it seems like he's legit. Sometimes they say people who swear a lot are more truthful. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, but he seems to be relatively truthful. So take a look, check it out, see what you think. Let me know what you think. Hit me up at lockdownuniverse at Gmail. Hit me up at lockdownuniverse at Facebook, and let's keep the conversation going. And also, think about doing the small business sponsorship. Be happy to have any of you aboard who are trying to get your voice out for your business. So anyway, hopefully you guys are taking care of your physical health, spiritual health, emotional health during these times, taking care of your family, following through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams, and continuing to question the universe around you. Until next time, Lockdown Universe out.